What's up, guys? Archangel7 with Genesis Gaming, and today I thought it'd be pretty cool to do an Angel Feather deck profile post G-BT08. So this is obviously after the Refros hit, and the deck is still very good, but it's very tedious. And by tedious, I mean there's very small plays that can just cause you to lose the entire match. Just very simple things. So it's very tedious. So with that said, I'm going to do the deck profile, and then I'll actually do a follow-up video on this, kind of talking about the combos and some of the small things that you have to look out for in order to succeed with this deck. So my starter is Hope Child Turiel. Its skill is Counterblast 1 and put this unit into your soul. Choose an Angel Feather card from your hand and put it into your damage zone. Choose a card from your damage zone and put it into your hand. I like Turiel better than Azrael because Turiel can actually get face down cards, as to where Azrael you have to choose a face up card, and Azrael is GB restricted, as to where Turiel is not. So for me, Turiel is the better starter. So the main grade 3 that you'd want to ride is Love Sniper Nociel. Has a own ride skill. Choose a card from your hand and put it into your damage zone face up. When this unit is placed on Vanguard circle, you may pay the cost. If you do, choose a card from your damage zone and put it into your hand. So the nice thing about this is it doesn't have to choose a face up card. You can choose a face down card. So really nice hand switch options right there. Nociel's second skill is what makes her absolutely amazing. Counterblast 1. When a card with Nociel in its card name is put into your damage zone, you may pay the cost. If you do, and that card is face up, put that card into your hand and put the top card of your deck into your damage zone face up. It's a really nice hand plus skill that can be used offensively or defensively. Next grade 3 is 2 Black Shiver Gravel. Now, you don't ever really want to ride Gravel, but if you have to, she does have some nice superior calling options and power bonuses that can add some pressure to the field, but she just doesn't have the defensive capabilities as Nociel, is able to plush your hand. While Gravel's GB2 enables her to get 2000 power anytime a card is put into your damage zone, it's just not that great. Plussing your hand is a lot better. Her on stride skill, however, is not bad at all. In Counterblast 1, when your G unit strides, you can look at the top 3 cards of your deck, choose one from among them, put into your damage zone face up, then choose a face up card from your damage zone and call it to rear circle, and that unit gets plus 2000 power to the end of turn. So it's a nice superior call option, and it's a nice way to just kind of set up your damage zone the way you want. I run one more grade 3, Holy Edge Celestial Malshadel, and she's really in here just for the Legion ability, to be able to cycle back triggers and to stop myself from decking out. Other than that, she's just stride fodder. And if you happen to Legion with her, she is a 20k attacker, which is fine. But other than that, there's no use for her in this deck. So on to the bread and butter of the deck. I have 4 copies of Nurse of Broken Heart. Nurse of Broken Heart is our offense, our defense, our everything. We have to have her. And her skill is GB1. When a card is put into your damage zone, choose one of your Vanguards, and that unit and this unit get plus 2000 power. So offensively, when you're doing your damage zone shenanigans, she's going to be getting stronger to deliver some pretty good attacks to your opponent's Vanguard. And then defensively, she's going to buff up your Vanguard so that your opponent's rear guards might not be able to hit her for that turn. So really good all-around card. Speaking of damage zone shenanigans, I have 3 copies of Love Machine Gun Nociel. Her skill is when this unit is placed on rear circle, if you have an Angel Feather Vanguard, you may choose a card from your hand, put it into your damage zone, and choose a card from your damage zone and put it into your hand. So just like any Nociel, this is not restricted to face up cards. You can actually get cards that are face down. So I only run 3 because the 8k body is going to hurt you offensively. And with Refros being hit down to 1, you need to create as much offensive pressure as you can. So too many 8k bodies just going to make your lanes way too weak and too easy for your opponents to guard. So 3 copies is more than enough. Some will say that you want 4 copies to maximize the grade 3 Nociel, but I run 3 and it's worked very well at 3. Black Slice Harut is our main offensive pressure tool in the deck. The skill is basically when this unit is boosted and attacks a Vanguard, you can counterblast 1 check the top 2 of your deck, put one into your damage zone, the other in the bottom of your deck, and then choose a face-up card from your damage zone and call it to rear. So the skill can set up nice hand switch options. It can also create a lane for more power and pressure on attacks, or it can just create an extra attack altogether. So it's a really nice offensive tool, and it has so much versatility. So 3 copies of that is quite good. 1 copy of Candlelight Celestial Sariel. Sariel's skill is Counterblast 1 when this unit is placed on rear. If you have an Angel Feather Vanguard, you may pay the cost. If you do, search your deck for up to 1 Angel Feather, put it into your damage zone, and shuffle your deck. If you put a card into your damage zone this way, choose a face-up card from your damage zone and put it into your drop zone. So you got to be careful when using Sariel, because if you only have 1 card to counterblast and you counterblast that card and you put a card in there, you're going to have to heal the face-up card. So she's a little bit tricky to use. You got to make sure the timing is right, but she's nice because she can search out anything and put it into the damage zone, such as Refros, or if you're Great Lock, you can get a grade 3 in there. Just whatever you need to set up, she's good for that. So 1 copy is enough. Last grade 2 is 1 copy of Dosage Celestial Asmodel, who is the Legion mate to Malshadel. And unlike its Legion, Asmodel is actually a pretty decent card. You counterblast 1, put this unit into your damage zone. When this unit attack hits a Vanguard, you may pay the cost. If you do, choose a face-up card not named Dosage Celestial Asmodel from your damage zone and call it to rear. So she can potentially extend attacks, not really relying on this, but she is mostly here for the Legion. But the 9k body does help with offense, and the on-hit does as well. So she's a pretty decent option to have. For grade 1s, let's start out with 4 copies of Doctroid Rimnon. It has a Rescue 1 ability that says Counterblast 1 when this unit is placed on Guardian Circle. If you have a face-up card named Doctroid Rimnon in your damage zone, you may pay the cost. If you do, choose a card from your damage zone, heal it, choose one of your Vanguards and deal it 1 damage. So this is pretty nice to just kind of be able to hit a defensive trigger on your opponent's turn to add to the defense of your Vanguard. Next is 4 copies of Battlecupid Nociel, whose skill is when this unit is placed on Guardian Circle. If you have an Angel Feather Vanguard, you may pay the cost. If you do, choose a card from your damage zone and put it into your hand. So this is a really nice guard option because you're able to guard with her and switch your hand out. So if your opponent's swinging for just a humongous number that you can't guard, you can actually call this to the Guardian Circle, put a card from your hand into your damage zone and take out a perfect guard and just perfect guard the attack. So really nice hand switch options that you can do defensively on your opponent's turn, which can also lead to some defensive power boosts as well. 3 copies of Black Hall Nakir. This card is Stride Fodder, and it should strictly remain as such. Do not call this to rear. Do not search out Gravel. Use it strictly as Stride Fodder. 2 copies of Thousand Ray Pegasus. Its skill is when a card is put into your damage zone, this unit gets plus 2,000 powers. So it's a pretty nice first ride option if in case your opponent tries to rush you down and has some defensive capabilities. Other than that, it's going to be on the back row, boosting up your lanes for insane numbers and swing at your opponent's Vanguard for just really high numbers. Last grade 1 is 1 copy of Drill Motor Nurse. She's a really nice field consistency option to have, whether you do it defensively on your opponent's turn or offensively to create some lanes and more pressure for your opponent. It's just a really nice option. And her skill is GB1. When this card is put into your drop zone from your damage zone, you may call it to rear. Then, if this card is put into your drop zone due to effective rescue ability, then she gets plus 3,000 power. So the rescue bonus is pretty nice, having her be a 10k booster. A lot of times that doesn't happen for me. A lot of times I actually get her off defensively on my opponent's turn, so that next turn I actually have a lane to work with. Maybe it works with Black Slice Harut. But really nice card to have a 1 of in the deck. Opens up a lot of options offensively for you. So the trigger lineup is 5 crit, 7 stand, and 4 heal. So I'm not going to go into any details on the critical triggers because they're mostly in there just for the crit and the guard. So the skills don't really activate. But for stand triggers, have Happy Bell Nociel, whose skill is put this unit into your soul, choose an Angel Feather from your hand, put it into your damage zone, choose a card from your damage zone, and put it into your hand. So this is the activated rear guard ability. So more hand shenanigans. And it has the Nociel name, so it does proc with the grade 3 Nociel, which is really what it's in here for. The stand is nice too, but the Nociel name, so we can plus our hand, is what we're really after. Next is Surgery Angel, who has a GB1 skill where you counterblast and put this unit on top of your deck. At the end of battle, if this unit boosted, you may pay the cost. If you do, shuffle your deck, choose a card from your damage zone, heal it, choose one of your Vanguards, and deal it 1 damage. So this is nice to just kind of get an extra trigger off, possibly before your Vanguard attacks. So you might land a crit and able to give it to your Vanguard for more pressure. You might land a stand and be able to stand a unit, giving it more pressure. So just a really nice offensive tool to have in the deck. And then it's also a stand trigger, so more pressure with that as well. And the last stand trigger is obviously 1 copy of Doctroid Refros, whose skill is GB1 Act. You counterblast 1, put this unit on top of your deck, choose 2 cards from your damage zone, put them on top of your deck, shuffle your deck, and for each card put with this effect, put the top card of your deck into your damage zone, then draw a card. So essentially, you're going to counterblast 1, put Refros on top of your deck, put 2 other cards on top of your deck. You're going to shuffle it in there. You're going to take 2 cards from the top of your deck, put it into your damage zone, and then you're going to draw a card. So this was the card that got hit, for those who do not know. And 1 copy, it works in the deck. It's not as good as it was, but it is an option in there. It's also a stand trigger, but it's kind of a pseudo counter charger. But it's going to help you kind of just fix your damage zone. It's going to be able to pump up some lanes if you have your broken hearts. So, and still a good card in there. The 1 of just really sucks. I mean, I wish they would have cut it to like 2. I think 2 would have been a lot better, but they just had to cut it to 1. And for the heal triggers, I have Sunny Smile Angel. Sunny Smile is the heal trigger that shuffles back into the deck after it boosts. And when it boosts, it gives the boosted unit plus 3,000 power, making this a 6k boosting trigger, which is really nice. And to be able to shuffle it back in is also good too, so you can consistently heal all the time. And yeah, you're going to need it for your G Guardians as well. So 4 of. Alright, on to the Stride Zone. I'm going to shoot through this pretty quickly here. So Holy Seraph Nociel, her ability is pretty much after she attacks a Vanguard, you can choose 2 of your rear guards, put them into your damage zone, choose any 2 cards from your damage zone, call them to rear. If they have the Nociel card name, they're going to get 5,000 power. This is going to be our best first stride options, because it's going to be just so much pressure. Having multiple attacks, also potentially boosting those attack powers up. It's just a really good first ride to have. Next is 1 copy of Holy Seraph Raziel, and he is our pretty much pseudo counter charger as well, and our mass power giver to Broken Heart and 1000 Ray Pegasus. When he's placed on Vanguard, you Soul Blast 2, take all the cards from your damage zone, shuffle them into your deck, and take that many cards from the top of your deck and put it into your damage zone. So pretty nice ability there. Next is something I kind of run. I think this is more unique to my build than any other build, but Holy Seraph Uriel. Holy Seraph Uriel is another pretty nice first stride, but only if you're on Gavril. I only use her if I'm on Gravel. But its skill is when this unit attack hits a Vanguard, you look at 3 cards from the top of your deck, search for one among them, put it face up into your damage zone. If you put a card in your damage zone this way, choose a grade 2 or less from your damage zone, call it to rear, and it gets plus 2,000 power. So another nice superior call, another nice way to kind of have some damage zone options. And the on-hit pressure is there as well, so I like this card in here. Don't really use it if I'm on Nociel though. But next is 4 copies of Holy Seraph Raphael. And Raphael is just our healer. You flip a copy over and you heal a damage. Easy and simple. Next is Black Seraph Gravel. Black Seraph Gravel is a really good card. She's freaking amazing. So her skill is once per turn, GB2. You counterblast 1. Choose a face-down card named Black Seraph Gravel from your G-Zone, turn it face up. Until end of turn, this unit gets a new skill. So the skill is when your card is put into your damage zone during the battle phase. That's very important. It's during the battle phase, not during your main phase. Choose up to 2 of your units, and they get plus 2,000 power until the end of turn. And your Gravel is also going to get a Rescue 2 ability that at the end of battle, if this unit attacked, choose 2 cards from your damage zone, heal them, choose one of your Vanguards, and deal 2 damage. So this is a nice way to get off multiple drive checks almost. Even though they're not going to your hand, you're still kind of checking for the triggers to be able to maybe hit some extra stands, hit some crits and give it to rear guard. So it's a really nice way to just be able to overwhelm your opponent with drive checks. And if you happen to have far more damage than your opponent, you could potentially heal out of this as well. Like if you're at 5 damage, your opponent's at 3, and you heal 2, you deal 1, and it's a heal trigger, you can actually get the heal off of that. And if you deal another heal trigger, you can actually get the heal off of that. So that's also very rare, but hey, options are options. So what can I say? And running 4 G guards, one being Dark Element Dismal. Nurse of Broken Heart has to be protected at all costs, so Dismal is a fantastic option to make sure that happens. And then Holy Seraph Serial, which is a absolutely amazing G-Guard. Its skill is Rescue 1, so Counterblast 1 when the unit is placed on Guardian Circle. You may pay the cost. If you do, look at the top card of your deck, put it on top or bottom of your deck, choose a card from your damage zone, heal it, then deal yourself 1 damage. So just a really nice to be able to once again kind of hit a defensive trigger, like kind of fish for the defensive trigger. And because you get to kind of search the top of your deck for 1 card and kind of keep it on top or bottom, also increases the odds that you'll hit that trigger. If you hit that trigger, then this will be a 31k block. If you have Nurse of Broken Heart on there, then you're not going to be 33. So just yeah, this is a really good G Guardian to have in there. So that is the deck profile, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Like I said, I didn't want to go over any combos in this video because I'm going to do a follow-up video to where I'm going to be able to go over the combos more in depth and go over some of the little tedious things that you want to watch out for in this deck. Like I mentioned in the beginning of this video, the deck is very tedious. You will lose by doing very minute things. So I'll be doing that video, and I'll leave a link in the description for it. So make sure you stay tuned in to figure that out. And if you enjoyed this video, be sure to like, comment, subscribe down below, and I'll catch you guys next time.